Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder to a news update. And first of all, this is big news for me personally. And as an introduction, I want to just let you know a few sentences. When I began to play War Thunder, the game caught me in the aspect that it was just always more than just, pushing around a cursor on the screen and just it didn't really feel like a normal game. It had more depths to it. And one aspect was the beauty of the game, especially for a free-to-play title. And here we are. And this sounds a little bit like my outro, New Skies in War Thunder. So we'll meet each other in the New Skies of War Thunder. And yeah, again, the link is in the video description down below. So I'm very excited about this because a lot of the stuff that is mentioned here I came across also while studying chemistry, and let's just read through this initial part. I tried to cut it down significantly, but let's just read through this together. In previous versions of the Dagger engine, the sky, clouds and fog were created with separate algorithms and we are not united into a system. Physically, the sky in War Thunder was quite authentic. However, to achieve a better visual resemblance with the real sky, it lacked the relationship between atmospheric phenomena. In the new version of the Dagger engine, we have managed to model a realistic atmosphere with the correct distribution and scattering of sunlight both in the sky and on the Earth's surface. We've also created a new clouds of different types at different heights and significantly improved the appearance of mist and fog. And I think that this, by the way, those are sliders. So this is absolutely fantastic. Just look at this, that is actually the very same map. And I believe this to be that I'm in the middle of the clouds, where they are shaped three-dimensionally. And this layer of clouds was, not flat, but significantly less volumetric, if you can call it like this. Just look at this. Just look at the difference. There are those very high clouds. Those are the clouds that you're actually in, and they feel really, or they look fluffy. It looks like really the sun is shining from above. You get the light scattering. It's absolutely fantastic. And compared to the old clouds, that is a huge difference, a massive difference. And I only can recommend that you look at this yourself and watch the sliders. To be honest, the beauty of War Thunder is one of the reasons why I keep playing this game. It's just, beautiful. So, this is a very interesting part. The scattering and absorption model of sunlight has changed. First of all, we've improved the spectral model of light scattering. Previously, air scattered light taking into account Rayleigh and Mie scattering. This is very complicated math. This is really interesting, and so many factors play into this, especially with the composition of our atmosphere. It's a bit more than just nitrogen and oxygen. But previously it was with a simplified model. The new version uses refined spectral modeling, which more accurately reproduces the shades of the sky under different conditions. The game will now have an ozone layer, so O3. Ozone is a fascinating gas, what it can do chemically, but also how it interacts with other chemicals, why we have an ozone layer, how it came to be, how that is a sign of life, how those FCKWs interact with it, as they are called in Germany, Fluorchlorkohlenwasserstoffe, and the chemical life cycle and how it improves our life quality on Earth significantly, why there is an ozone gap, why there is an ozone hole, as it is called. Just read into it. It's a fascinating story. I could talk about this for hours and just show you all the graphs, but anyway, the game will now have an ozone layer. During the day, the sky on our planet is blue mainly due to Rayleigh scattering. At sunrise and sunset, the atmosphere remains blue because of the property of ozone to absorb a specific wavelength in the sunlight spectrum. It's not just one specific wavelength, by the way, but that is in the visual range between 400 and 700 nanometers, just for the experts among you. To absorb a specific wavelength in the sunlight spectrum. Also, ozone absorbs additionally paints the higher clouds in the orange. Also, ozone absorbs additionally paints the higher clouds in orange and pink at sunset and sunrise. So this is also one of the effects that I observed multiple times in all of its glory last year and this year when I was fishing. And you catch the most fish at around dawn when the sun either rises or the sun sets. And I really absorbed this fireworks of colors and made multiple pictures, which sadly, due to the loss of my hard drive recently, I lost the photos. But anyway, it makes a huge difference where the sun is shining. Is it if it is directly coming from above or more or less from the side, if the sun sets, or when the sun is from your perspective behind the horizon, but it still shines at the clouds from below. It is fascinating, and let's have a look at this picture. So again, this is a slide bar, and this is the same map, by the way. Look at the difference. This is old and this is new. Old, new. It's a huge difference, by the way. Sadly, I cannot always reproduce the same game feel I get from my 80 centimeter 4K screen and the PC that I have. I don't capture, sadly, the recordings don't get captured in the same resolution, and it's a bit more blurry. So what you see on YouTube is far from what I actually what I actually play with. I hope that this soon changes, so bit of a spoiler, and just in time, because yeah, this is outdated. This feels like 2010 in comparison to this. And I'm super excited. I cannot wait to fly my aircraft through those skies. And that's with the ozone layer off and on. And there is a better contrast. The colors seem more full and just more exciting. And that you can see how this is actually more bluish and this is more greenish. It feels like a bit like being underwater, whereas this one you really feel like in the sky, and not just because of the clouds, but also because of the colors. It's absolutely breathtaking, to be honest. So changes to clouds are the most noticeable improvement, etc., etc. And there are various different clouds because they change in they differ in their morphological type. We have implemented all types of clouds except for the most exotic and rare ones. Okay, I'm okay with this, because if they concentrate on the most common clouds and they make them good, I'd rather have this than if they would work on all clouds but they're not quite finished, if there would be half-assed. So I hope for that to be the case. Cumulus, stratus, altocumulus, stratocumulus, altostratus, cumulonimbus, and cirrus clouds are now represented in the game. And all types of clouds can occur simultaneously in the War Thunder sky depending on the weather setting for each battle. That is awesome. That just gives so much more variety, because previously it was very simplified. Previously it was all the clouds or no clouds. And I think that this is now giving more opportunity. So this is also interesting. If it is raining below a cloud, the pillar of droplets is clearly visible from afar due to the additional scattering of light on the raindrops. Fascinating. But here, have some pictures. Beautiful. That alone is one awesome wallpaper. Can you imagine the direct screenshots being perfect thumbnails already, without editing, without just screwing around with the contrast and the lighting, etc. We're getting there, boys. Also this one, the dragon alone is so beautiful. The 3D model. flying through those clouds. I can't wait for this. I honestly can't. I'm actually excited. I'm actually hyped. Me. and also here, so this is multiple scattering, and you can see here that those clouds look a bit blurry, and here you have a good contrast because there is an actual blue sky and white clouds. And also please look at those clouds, right? That just looks like a blob. Here, that looks like a blob. If we slide here over, it's more three-dimensional. The entire map looks lighter, more fresh, I'd say. And the clouds, you know, they go through the different stages of gray and white and bluish together with the sky, where also the intensity of the blue just changes, which is awesome. And the haze in the background, it's just also very good combined with the light on the ground. So okay-ish. This is old War Thunder, if you will. New, old, new, old, new. Or, you know, multiple scattering off, so to speak. And I could talk about this for hours. And again, I tried to cut it down. If you're interested, you can look through this. Now, there are two aspects of the following picture. This is rain off and rain on. And first of all, the good part is this is a local rain shower. You know, this is, for example, a village, and if you're in the village, it looks like it's raining everywhere, right? If that rain gets over the village or the town. But if you look at pictures from aircraft, if you are, for example, on a mountain and you can kind of see at the right angle into the valley, you can see pictures like this. I've seen this multiple times myself, and this looks realistic, like that the haze and mist on the ground, how the cloud kind of changes and it goes from cloud to rain, and the other clouds around it are awesome looking, but this is how it looks without rain, right? Rain, no rain. And that is a huge disadvantage, because imagine this being part of a fight where you are, let's say, in an energetic disadvantage in your prop plane, and you use the rain to break contact, to regain speed or altitude and pump energy into your plane, and then can come back and just have a jump on a plane. Now it's then a bit more than just going in and out of the clouds, because this is not just horizontally something, but also vertically. So I can already see some awesome dogfights happening in and around clouds and rain showers, and also in simulator battles. Man, I can't wait for trying out simulator battles maybe. And you know, you have then all the rain droplets on your windshield, and you don't see that much, and then it's more a fight based on acoustic signals, you know, on sound. Amazing. But there is obviously a big drawback. You see it here and here. Those two dots. It's still spot the dot. Either Gaijin had some faulty pixels in their screenshot, but this looks like the good old spot the dot. The contrast is still brutal. You know, here in the sky you kind of can say, okay, but here through the rain shower, that pure black dot, you know, it's not flawless, but we'll see. Maybe they'll address this in time as well, hopefully, after all these years. Then Picturesque pillars of light, the god rays or beams of sunlight clearly distinguishable against the shaded background of the clouds, are called crepuscular rays, etc, etc, etc. This is how it looks. Awesome, just awesome. And also here, where, you know, the sun gets through a hole in the clouds, and then you have this mist that seems made out of light. I've seen this myself, it looks awesome, and to see this on a regular basis in the game, I cannot wait for this. I cannot wait for this. So also here, look at this picture. Yes, just simply yes. Okay, but it gets even better than this. In short, the game has its own atmosphere. This sophisticated mathematical model allows us to simulate visually accurate effects of the sky, cloud scattering of sunlight at any height and at every point on our planet. And you think Gaijin would stop there? No. the snail goes to space. So Earth's atmosphere from space, from low orbit at 200 kilometers. So if you feel fancy in your space fire, you kind of can see this, I guess. So this is outstanding. I didn't expect to see this. It's beautiful. But, you know, it's not just our planet. So there is also this part of the text which is very interesting. And we have received pictures from Mars by the Curiosity rover. You know, this is an actual photo from NASA. And this is War Thunder's equivalent. Because they can change the settings of the density of the atmosphere, they can turn off and on ozone, because on Mars there is very little ozone, and just, you know, it's not quite the same, but because also there is a little bit a difference with the mountains. Yeah, you can see a ridgeline in the far back, and also the sun here is just coming over the horizon, whereas here it is above the horizon. So that makes a bit of a difference. But here the blue shining, and that it gets a bit more into the, I would say, purple. Here it is very well expressed. Here it's just about to begin. And I think that is really, really impressive. As terrible as some of Gaijin's design and balancing decisions are, their art department really carries hard. And just, it's coming all together. And I'm just literally blown away by this. I just love it. It's so good looking. Again, you can find the link to this news update in the video description down below. Let me know what you think about it, and well, over and out.